Hey there! So today we have another review, and this is an exciting one. This is the first time trying a beer from Birds Fly South Ale Project, and this is a saison/farmhouse based brewery in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm 6.8%, and this is actually, I tried to look someone on Untapped, it's really annoying. It's apparently called DollarBird, but I was actually using the dollar symbol, but it's dollar, the word bird. So there's a passion and funk first, dry hopped with Brett, dry hopped along with Brett, Southern Hemisphere. And then they actually have a fun kind of like scale. It's like low, this is basically no sour, mostly dry, slightly bitter on a scale to 5. So you can sort of see that. I've seen cocktail menus use that before. It's really nice. I think it's a good idea to sort of like tell people what they're looking for, a scale of, you know, all these interesting kind of characteristics of what a beer can be. And then, you know, obviously this is like sort of in the color of money. And so, yeah, really excited. And I believe they were just on a podcast on Milk the Funk with Saint Somewhere. Saint Somewhere is sort of one of the older breweries actually in Florida, at least modern wise, and you know, produces farmhouse beers and sort of has stuck in the ways of doing farmhouse beers, whereas, you know, now this state is really known for Berliner Weiss or Florida Weiss and big imperial stouts and all that kind of stuff, but it really has been in the ways of farmhouse beer. And really wish that there are more farmhouse breweries out in my area, but also in general, even like New York, you know, could use more. And I know there's one opening up with Wild East, and you know, post in comments below if you really wish there were more farmhouse style breweries in your area, and if there are any specifically. But the beer has poured quite aggressively. There's a beautiful head on that. This beer comes actually very pale, a lot of wonderful straw color, so I imagine there's a good amount of wheat in here. It has a really fluffy white head, large bubbles, just really that beautiful kind of large Belgian kind of head to it. Looks very wonderful. It's really interesting that it's also in can versus a lot of these beers are actually bottle conditioned. So really nice look on that. Actually don't know when this can, but. So I get a nice perfumey note. There's a really wonderful kind of lavender, kind of like clothes, laundry, kind of floral note to it. Rosy too, a little bit lemony. Some like wonderful, nice, light kind of pineappley notes to it. So a little bit of that kind of fruity Brett character coming in. Also the hops possibly playing in that. Yeah, lime coming in here as well from the Southern Hemisphere of hops. Smells awesome. Wow, very dry beer. Doughy, crackery, dry, slightly funky. Slightly hoppy. That's sort of the general nose I get in this one. Up front, you get a little bit of that funk. That funk is interesting. I mean, again, Brett does so many fun things. And this one at this point is slightly pineapple-y, but it's also slightly funky in the sense, I mean, again, funk really doesn't make any sense unless you use more descriptors with it. The funk here comes off to me almost plasticky, a little bit styrofoamy, that kind of like, you know, industrial kind of note to it. There's a little bit of apricot, really nice light kind of crackery note to it. It almost zings of a little bit of New England IPA. I almost get that chalky thing you get in New England IPAs, but then it's also wonderfully dry. A little bit of that kind of like hop residual, kind of like green character driving in there. You know, it really, 6.8 is very big, actually. I would have guessed it was maybe around 5%. It almost drinks like a breaded New England pale ale, honestly. It's just like, it's kind of just like lingering hop character, but it's got that Brett in there and make it really zippingly dry. But it's got a little bit of mouthfeel too, because it probably uses very similar grist to what New England IPA offers. Oh, that's great. I mean, that's dangerous. 5.8%, or 6.8%. Geez, that's like, you know, full-on IPA, and you give someone a couple cans of this, I mean, man, I could be in trouble with this one. It's just really wonderfully dry. I love what the Brett offers in here. A little bit hoppy quality comes in here. The hops might not be as bright and defined as a New England IPA, but clearly you can tell there's a hoppy beer. Again, it really drinks like a New England breaded pale ale, but it's at 6.8%, not 5. And wow, that's killer. this beer for me, would love more beers like this. This one for me gets a 95 DollarBird from Birdside Fly South. I wish I had more of these available. Until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know what you think. If you like this kind of beer, post the comments below because I love it. Later. Cheers.